Courtney. Welcome back to my channel and I hope you are doing so very well. Now today I'm going to talk to you about the planner that I am using in 2018, and I'm also going to be doing a collage video sped up at the end because I need some color and it's already April and I'm sick to death of looking at these plain books. I am a very big fanatical person when it comes to color, and I normally collage my notebooks and journals just to make them feel a bit more me, personalize them a bit, and I've left it so long and I thought today's the day that I'm going to collage my planner. So I thought I'd chat about them before I went into the process video, just to give you a little background. I did show you what I was using for my journal for 2018, and I did promise a 2018 planner video. Now last year I had a massive planner funk. I actually purchased the Hobonichi in the A5, and as you can see I also covered that, and I was doing pretty well with it and it was going really well, and then I just sort of fell apart as the months went on, and I've had a whole heap of trouble with the whole hugeness of it all. And so as you can see, my daily pages just weren't going so well. I was trying the spiral decks, the hyperdecks, the hyperdecks, and I was just not, it was just not working for me. And I felt like some days I was super busy and the full page was great, and then some days I just felt like I wasn't needing all that space. I didn't like the A6 because I did want to see my weekly pages. I tried the weeks as well. That was another planner that I purchased. I couldn't get that to work. And so I ended up in a B6 Stalogy notebook and just literally bullet journaled in a really ghetto way. So let me see if I can track down where I've put my B6 and you can see what I was doing. So this was my planner for the majority of last year, until I tried to figure out, I think November was when the Jibun Techo came out, and I pre-ordered it on Etsy in the beginner bundle. So I got the idea book, the life book, the planner, and the dashboard, like the plastic writing board. So that's what the route that I took, because I liked the portable size of the b6 slim, and I liked the layout, which we'll talk about. So this was what I was using for the majority of 2017, and this is a traveler's notebook by Sojourner in the doe leather, and I'm not quite sure what leather this is. I never really asked, but it became my very favorite, still is my favorite, and if I ever return to a b6, this would be the journal that I used. It's been all banged up. I have no idea what this is. Probably something from my kids, but I ended up covering my B6 as well, and this has still got a lot of life left in it, so I love that I could just literally go back to this if I felt that I wanted to. It's plain. So I was using printables from Fran Nerd. I was a patron of hers, and she gave printable calendars that I used and just stuck into my planner. I did not want to write out my own things. I was just way too lazy. So there is those, and then I literally was just adding ripped piece of paper, some watercolor, and making different types of layouts to try and work out. I tried this whole month to a page, it failed. I had different collage sheet master lists of what I was doing. I had notes and things, pages to film, ideas. I did incorporate the hyperdecks. Is it the hyperdecks? Yes. The life mapping hyperdecks, which I bought the stamps for, and I stuck them on sticker paper and that sort of thing. And it was just became a mishmash of things to do. And so I was playing a lot with that while trying to work out how I was planning. And I was failing at planning last year, and I really didn't want 2018 to be the same. So I ended up picking up the Jibun Techo, and there wasn't that many videos on them. I had watched some, but it got a lot of attention, and I loved that there was a monthly layout, and I loved that the weekly was very small, and I was unsure whether I was going to be able to fit all of my stuff into the weekly, but I've had absolutely no troubles fitting my days into my planner, and I am slowly finding my groove with this. There have been times when I've been sick and have not planned nothing, or it was our holiday, but I have really enjoyed planning in the Jibun Techo. Now, I'm not going to go through every feature of it. There are videos out there that do it way better than I ever would, because I am not a massive planner guru, but I am really enjoying the simplicity of it. There is a business version, so that's all like black and white and very non-colored. I obviously went for the colored version. I added my own tabs. They're as wonky as heck, but I'm really terrible with tabs. And so I normally there are little check boxes down the side. I normally put my to-dos for the week down here. If there's something pressing up here, like I will normally put things up here, like I've got to pay certain bills. If there's a school thing on, I will put something that I need to remember for school for the kids. I've got school photos next week, all that sort of stuff, up in this little box up here. There isn't a traditional way of using it, and they all have it somewhere in the front, I think. There are weekly planners, favorite phrases, movie lists, all that sort of thing. There is a yearly tracker box, which I'm trying to get into the habit of using, because I like that, getting into a habit to track my habits. Isn't that hilarious? Down here, there's a little box that I normally either put to-do list personal stuff to do with the house, or if I'm working on things, if my work has gotten really busy or I know that I need to have a whole heap done, I'll put things that I need to do overnight time when I'm sitting with hubby, grocery lists, stuff like that. Weekends I normally don't get that full. I try to take weekends off. But yeah, this is generally what I am using. So you can see it's really busy at the start of the year, and we had a bit of sickness during February and March, and obviously a death in the family, so it was a bit quieter on my planner because I was being there for my family, basically. So then the monthly also has check boxes down the side, so if you have a monthly to-do list, you can definitely put that sort of stuff in there. I haven't really done any of that sort of monthly stuff, or if there's things that I need to remember, like I need a new doctor's referral or stuff like that, or if there's something that hubby's put down, or he's got a work thing, it's all there. So that is generally my planner. It's very basic, but I actually really love it. It's really thin, but I hate the cover. Now, there is a life book, and this is the idea book, which is just a grid notebook, and that is what I will use if I need to write down ideas or things like that. But I haven't really used it that much. It's just in there on like in this little corner here. But I do have my planner with me. I use the Hobonichi green stencil still. Love this stencil. I use it. This is my second one because I snapped my first one. And I've also got a few of the Stalogy dots from the stationery selection box, which I get every month. But yeah, so that is my planner. It's nothing to write home about. It's very basic. There's no real I think this is why it took so long to make this video, because I don't have a set way of doing things. I don't have color. I do have a general color coding system, but I'm not really hardcore. This is all my coloring. This, you know, I generally have my work in pink because I do a lot of work. Pink's my favorite color. And I normally do school stuff in orange or yellow because they're my least favorite colors. And green obviously is for bills and things, but nothing really is ever the same. I haven't really got a system. I just know where all my stuff needs to be. I have very straightforward 1 or 2 word things for things. I don't write everything out. I make a lot of lists. I live on the sidebar here for the list of things that I need to do for the whole week, so I get them done for the whole week. And then if there's something that I have day specific, then I'll have it down on the day. But that is generally all I have. It's nothing amazeballs, but I thought that because I didn't want to make such a simple video on this is my planner, but I'm not a planner guru, so thanks for stopping by. I thought I'd just throw in some collage at the end because I really do want to collage my planner because I am sick to death of having it white. And my planner is actually housed in a pink Rose of Sharon Sojourner folio. She created this for the Jibun Techo in the b6slim size, and I just have them both slipped into the side pockets. So they're one in this way, and then I have my idea. So they have the idea on both sides, so if you do have it slipped into the pocket, you can. It did come with a cover, that's how I bought it, but I obviously didn't want to keep it, and so it's just like that. I have a cat from Kiki's Delivery Service pen loop, and I use a uni style fit pen, and that is all that I use in my planner. And I use mild liners if I highlight anything. I do some little collage and drawings in there. It does help me want to hang out in my planner. I have to force myself to use my planner because sometimes I completely forget, but when I'm really busy, I do live in this thing. And so I have to be more mindful and make sure I spend the time doing the list so that I can get out of my head, because sometimes my head's making things busier and crazier than it should, but when I actually write it all down in small bite-sized chunks, it really lessens that huge panic of, oh my goodness, I'm so overwhelmed, I've got so much to do. But when I can see it here, it does help me feel better. So without further ado, I'm going to get all my collage bits and pieces out. But as you can see, I like to collage my journals and I like to collage my planners, so I was totally going to do it for this as well. My Hobonichi, this is a writing journal that I have with lots of different art and stuff from me and Tisha Moore, who is one of my artistic idols. Love her. And I'm actually thinking about popping a memory monster on the front, and memory monsters are a thing that I created for Patreon. They're a project for Patreon, but I also created a bonus video for Jane's Journal de Voyage class. So if you've taken that or thinking about taking that, there is a video tutorial on how I created these guys. So I'm thinking that I want to pop either this one or this one on the front of my journal. I'm not quite sure which one yet, because I love them both very much. I think she might win. They both have photographs from my where my family lives in Inverell, so they both remind me of home. So definitely, but I think her might win. But yeah, I will do lots of other things, but I always have a central image. I also need to find my 2018. I have a date for 2018 somewhere, or I'll make another one, who knows. But yeah, I thought I'd just do a little bit of an intro to my planner and show you all that, because I have been asked what I'm using. Am I enjoying it? I am very much enjoying it. Do I think I'll use it next year? Probably. Yeah, I am really enjoying it. I have flip-flopped a lot. I've tried the Hobonichi Weeks. I've tried the A6. I've tried the A5. But I think I was busier than I was. I am quite busy, but when it comes down to it, I'm a list maker. And I didn't realize that I would enjoy the vertical so much. But I've really taken to it. I've never planned in a vertical way. So this has been really good, but I've totally enjoyed it, and I'm a list maker at heart, so this makes my list making ways very happy. So without further ado, I'm now going to speed up this video. If there's anything that I want you to know while I'm doing it, I will put a voiceover in with the music, but I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any questions or comments or anything, pop them down below. I'll also list the shop that I bought my planner from. I know that JetPen sold them as well, but they sold out really quickly, but I'm pretty sure there's probably still some Etsy sellers that sell them. I do not know if they do like different start dates the way that Hobonichi does with their spring release and stuff. I'm not quite sure. I live under a rock when it comes to planner stuff, so I'm pretty not knowledgeable at all. But I knew that I'd like to try this setup. I'd seen it online. I'd watched quite a few of the videos that people that did have it, and if I find, I'll go through my video history and see if I can find any videos that I really liked showing off this, and leave them in the info box for you as well. So that is enough babbling from me, and let's make these covers a whole lot more visually appealing.
So many years, too many tears on your pillow, on your pillow. Out of the darkness, a sound. It all seems so harmless. A silver light. Don't you wait until the morning light, the morning light. Far away until you're out of sight, you're out of sight. Cause you gotta let now while you can. Don't look back, don't forget. You gotta let now while you can. Don't look back, don't forget. You gotta let now while you can. Don't you wait until the morning light, the morning light. Far away until you're out of sight, you're out of sight. Cause you gotta let now while you can. Gotta let now while you can. Don't look back, don't forget. You gotta let now while you can. Don't look back, don't forget. You gotta let now while you can. Don't look back, don't forget. You gotta let now while you can. Don't look back, don't forget. You gotta let now while you can.
So I'm almost done, and I've just got my 2018, so I'm trying to work out where I want it. Now, in terms of covering these, I used to use contact here in Australia. I'm not quite sure what you guys call it in your part of the world, but we call it contact. But I was having trouble finding a non-frosted version. I used to be able to find it no problems when they did the back to school stuff, but then it started being like frosted and not so clear, and not glossy, so I didn't like how that looked. So when I bought my bookbinding supplies when I did a surgery on my journal, I actually picked up these massive bookbinding tapes, and I have just been using those on my journals and stuff to keep them all neat and tidy. I'm pretty sure my journal is covered, I think. No, my journal's not covered yet, but I probably will cover it when it's done because it's always been inside a cover. But I knew that this wouldn't take me long to fill up. This is actually my travel journal, and so I've been covering these with the thick tape, a couple of pieces of tape, and you don't really notice the little overlap. It's fine, keeps everything secure, keeps it nice and not neat, but like sturdier. And I know with this getting moved around a lot in my journal, it was starting to bend that back cover, so I'm hoping with the help of the tape it'll be less bendy. And I also liked the idea of putting a washi stripe on my spine, and I knew that if I put the big tape on it, it would stay there properly because it's not having very much luck sticking to that sort of material binding that the planner has. So I'm pretty sure I will put that here or here. No, probably here. Right down here, because I want to still see some of the reflection in the review mirror, which is a picture I took on the way home from a trip from seeing my mum and dad, and I still wanted to see my fountain pens. So I will put that right here. And I really like how both sections go. I like having the peeking through the days of the week, use it more of a graphic element than as an element of this is the days of the week. I like that idea. I may put a couple of little, see there's still a little bit poking out here that I probably might try and maneuver that under there, or I will leave it. But is it stuck very well? I'm a really terrible gluer. For someone who is a collage artist, I am the worst gluer in town, but at the same time that kind of works to my advantage, because if I want to lift something up, I've usually not glued it down very well and can maneuver things into those spots without much hassle, like so. And then I will adhere those bits down. So there. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that. I was going to add some like doodling down here, but I like the pink. I really like using lined papers from, say, like notepads and things. I'm always collecting legal pads in different colors. What are these called? Not post-it notes, but they're like index cards almost. I always buy them in different colors because I use them in the backgrounds of my journals. I really like how they look. Love grid paper as well, but it's a little harder to find colored grid paper. I've been searching for pink grid paper for a while and I haven't found any yet. Maybe I'll find some in Japan. Not sure, but I am going to speed up the process of me just taping the cover, and then I'll just have a little chat to you at the end, and then that will be me done. I was going to cover my idea book, but I'm not quite sure what I want to put on there. I may very well put her on there, but I thought I'd just cover my planner for this video today. It's the one thing I wanted covered the most. So I am going to move all my collage bits and pieces out of the way because this tape is pretty heavy duty and will stick to all the things. And knowing me and my clumsy ways, I would stick it to half my collage sheet elements and then they'd be ripped and ruined and I'd be really, really emo, and I don't want to be emo. So without further ado, let's cover this baby with some bookbinding tape.
I've never been known for my cautious side. You should know that I'm well aware. I don't want anything left untried. Will you come with me, mon cher? So let us just do my love and not stop to think any of this over. So let us just do my love and see What shall we call us? Hobos per se. We'll find that out on the way. So let us just do, my love.
Alright, it is all covered, so it's all secure. I also fold over like you saw in the video so that my edges stay nice and secure as well. I did have a little bit of trouble on this top bit of the spine, and that's purely because of the washi tape not adhering, but it doesn't have any like bubbles or anything like that, which is nice because sometimes there are bubbles and that really makes me Hulk out and get a bit crazy, but I think it is going to really brighten up my day instead of looking at the crazy boring 2018. But yeah, I think it'll look really cute, and it even feels more secure and more stable now that that's in there, and my spine isn't sort of bending the way it was when I was pulling it in and out. Not that I pull this in and out very often, but sometimes when I closed my notebook it would be uneven, and that's purely because of how the books would sit together. But I definitely love how it looks. But yeah, this is my planner. It's nothing amazing. It's very functional. It's very to the point. There's not much decoration, and the only decoration is if I am either journaling in my journal or working and I have collage sheets nearby. I may pop in a few bits and pieces. I've also used spare sprocket prints if I've got them, like my kids. Pretty sure there's a one of hubby in here. Yep, with my Minnie Mouse ears when we went to Disneyland. So if I've got spare little prints that I have lying around, I'll pop them in to my journal, or if there's something that's happened on that day and there's not really much there, and if I have a picture spare, I'll pop it in. But there's no really set way that I do things. My journal is very, very function based, because I just don't have time. I really wish I did have the time, and being an artist, you'd think I would have the time to decorate and make it all beautiful, but I really, really don't. Most of my art goes into my journals or collage sheets or things like that, so my planner is really a second thought when it comes to decoration. And as much as I'd love to be one of those really beautiful, pretty planners, believe me, I drool over those things. I'm just really fail at it. So I put a lot of my energy into my journal, and my planner is just my planner. So that is what I am using for 2018. I hope you've enjoyed this little look into my planner and a little process video on my crazy little quick collage. It literally took me 20 minutes to collage this. I just like to throw on some background pieces, throw on a focal image that makes me happy and I'm okay with looking at for the rest of the year, and pop the year on, and I'm good to go. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!